And good morning. I don't know if anyone recognizes this flag. This flag is from Switzerland, and today we will talk about this incredible country. Switzerland is located in Central Europe, is bordered by Germany in the north, um, France to the west, Liechtenstein and Austria to the east, and Italy to the south. First, we have population. There are approximately 8 million people in Switzerland. Demographic trends are being influenced by multilingualism. The resign average as the higher proportion of foreigners living in the country. Next, we have currency. And Switzerland is not member of the European Union, and the Swiss franc is the official currency of the country. One Swiss franc equals 21.86 Mexican pesos. Um, the flag. The Swiss constitution does not denote a particular meaning of the color of the flag. The historical origin of the white cross on a red background dates back to the medieval age, but the exact reason why these colors were selected or why a cross was used to a part of the sign is unknown. Uh, the language distribution. Switzerland has four unevenly distributed languages and well-loved dialects. First, German. German is by the far the most widely spoken language, with 63.5%. In second place, in second, Switzerland French, 22.5%. French is spoken in the western part of the country. Next, Italian with 8.1%. The number 4, Raito Romansh with 0.5%. And finally, other language like English with 6.6%.
Hello. I will talk a bit of Switzerland culture. Uh, the most widely practiced religion in Switzerland is Catholicism, uh, and if I had plans to go to Switzerland, I really wouldn't have problems with the culture because I'm Catholic too. Uh, Well, during the Holy Week, the Mendrician commune becomes the scene of important processions and is the scene of the Passion of Christ. It's very popular there. Uh, this religious tradition has existed over there 350 years ago. And next, please. Well, speaking about fame, a good way to know how to make watches is by learning in Switzerland because the Swiss are famous for making the best watches in the world, and there are very famous to how to make cheese. Uh, well, they know they know a lot about flowers and wild animals of that country, and they keep the mountains and valleys clean. They're very cleaner. Next, please. Well, transport. The bicycle and train are the most used means of transport in that country. Um, I have a curious situation. If I had to choose between these two, I would rather travel by train because I don't know how to ride a bike. Please don't laugh. If you like transports if you like sports in the snow, maybe you could go skiing or snowboarding. These are the most practiced in Switzerland. Next one. Well, Basilea Carnival. It's celebrated from March 7 to 9 to March 9. Sorry. And people use costumes, masks, and flashlights to go out to play typical music. Before celebrating, the streets must be a little dark, and the other one is Tyrolean song. Its famous vocal technique, and from the Swiss mountains that offers a variety of music. Um, they must practice a lot to achieve a high musical notes. And in Switzerland, folk music, dance, poems, um, good carving, good carving, sorry, and uh, how, how do you say uh, embroidery. There are encouraged in that zone.
Good morning. Um, I'm going to talk about the tourist attraction. Um, Next, please. Switzerland is famous because it has many beautiful places to visit. Actually, has many places to go, but where people go, the most are the following. For example, the first is Geneva. Geneva is one of the city most popular and important in Switzerland. It is a beautiful place on the shore of Lake Leman. And really the attraction is the fountain that shows a stream of water 140 meters high into the lake. And really the original fountain from 1886 was smaller to make it a better tourist attraction. They moved it to its current position in 1891. Um, the next Bern and its clock tower is another attraction in this beautiful country. Uh, it is characters by the clock tower where people go enter and live. In addition to giving the time, this watch has a story where Albert Einstein could develop one of the one of his story. The reason that people go there is just to learn more about this very famous physical. Um, Zurich. is another. Zurich, this city stands out of its traditional medieval architecture with building on the banks of the Limmat rivers, which then stretch along a beautiful lake with blue waters. Um, Next, please. Well, the the large and number museums of in Basel makes it internationally recognized and has one of the most cultural cities to visit in Switzerland. It is the third city in country with many inhabitants. There is the Museum of Art, the Bellart Foundation, the um, Times of the Music Museum.
Um, to continue the art in the Switzerland will get the values of freedom and authenticity in his art. Maybe you could bring some of your art here in Mexico. The graphic designer, the strange sculptures. It might be a good idea to innovate with recycled materials. One option is to visit the Alps for inspiration. The painters, for example, Felix Baloton began his career for 1885 to 1925. His painting cleared the Lune from the 19th century slow. Naturally, he's in splendor with his beautiful colors. The next, please. Of the city of Geneva has an impressive number of libraries and museums. The culture travels from one museum to another, allow to you you to discover a museum in a different way. For the 20 years, the city Geneva has celebrated and supported the development of comics. So the software awards. The next, please. The museums are spectacular in Switzerland. Has the Museum of Art and History, which invites you to travel back in the time. The is collection for this reason. I wanted to visit this country. Um, has I can it maybe take time, but it will be a dream come true.
Well, um, I present the part of music. Um, and in this part, we have folk music. This is often equipped in Switzerland with lander music. It presents the great variety within traditional instrumental music, and might be a good idea to check out into our country with all varieties um, of cultural music that we have. Uh, they also include march, Scottish dance, mazurkas or foxtrots. This type of music appeared within the use of the accordion during the 1880s, and before the music uh, was presented by Mexican dance music bands of 5 to 7 people with instruments such as violin, clarinets, trumpets, cornets, and tuba, and double bass. Um, be- before the, can you change partner, please? Hey. After we have the part of movies. Hey. We know that in the movies always present mythical mountains, spectacular scenarios, romanticism, and historical centers, all thanks to Switzerland. Uh, here some here have some movies that we recorded in that country. In the first part we have Iron Man 3. I know that movie about the Robert Downey Jr. And after we have the Murder in the Orient Express. I recommended that movie because it's very interesting, but I don't speak more about this movie because it's really interesting. Hey, eh, eh, we have the movie The Fantastic Beast, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Um, this movie is part of the movies of Harry Potter, and I don't know if you know this movie. Well, I recommended this movie because it's so interesting. And can you change, please, partner? Well, and we have the famous people. We well knows the famous cartoon of Heidi of our childhood for many. Due to it was on TV a lot, and the reason why I see it cartoon is because I borrow in the mornings. we, well, thanks to Johannes Byrie, we can know this cartoon. It is a story. It's about youth literature that after the Japanese adapted into a cartoon in the 70s. And well, this is all from the great and amazing Switzerland. Thanks for the attention, partners.